The Expert Series is brought to you by Draw It Paint, the dry erase paint company that allows you to create the exact space you want. Our products are designed for performance, engineered for durability, and manufactured for quality. Draw It Paint's 3 formulas will allow you to reach every possibility. Behold your best work.
Kesha, we wanted to ask you, what are the main differences between a CPA and a non-CPA?
So there's a lot of things that a CPA can do that a non-CPA can't do. But I'm going to focus on the tax aspects because I'm a tax professional. So from a tax perspective, when you have a tax professional that is, we call it enrolled versus unenrolled. Enrolled practitioners versus unenrolled practitioners. Enrolled practitioners can be lawyers, CPAs, and enrolled agents. And I actually am both a CPA and an enrolled agent. And we have the ability to represent taxpayers in front of the IRS if they get audited or need any other kind of representation services. Whereas a tax professional that's not enrolled, they don't have that ability. They have very limited representation abilities for their clients only. So if you had your tax return done by somebody else and you get audited, then you can come to me and I can represent you for that audit because I'm a CPA and enrolled agent. But if you went to somebody else who doesn't have those credentials, they won't be able to actually audit you and stand in your place when it comes to you going to the IRS. And, because when we say represent the taxpayer, we mean that, I go as you. Right? So I'm going and saying, I'm here on behalf of this taxpayer. And this is what, this is what we believe is true. Okay. Yeah. We can see that might not be right, but my job is to act as your representative so that you don't have to face the IRS alone, or even at all in some cases. And if you go to a non-credential tax professional, and don't get me wrong, there are non-credential tax professionals or unenrolled practitioners that are bomb when it comes to their business. They know everything. They get educated. They've been in the business for a long time. They know more than me in some instances, or other enrolled practitioners in some instances, but they're very limited in what they can do for you outside of preparing a tax return. And speaking of education, CPAs, enrolled agents, and lawyers, or again, enrolled practitioners, we're required to get continuing education each year in order to keep our credential. Whereas non-enrolled practitioners are not necessarily required to have that education. So you can have somebody who has been a tax professional for 30 years and learned taxes 30 years ago and never took a continuing education course. So they may not necessarily know what the new rules are or how things have changed, other than just kind of peeking here and there if they get a new question that pops up. And so I think that, again, in the tax world, credential versus non-credential can create a war. But I think that there are people on both sides that are, really great tax professionals, but if you want to go down to the specifics of what can you do as an enrolled practitioner, CPA, EA, lawyer, versus an unenrolled tax practitioner, the main difference is that beyond the tax return, we can help you with representation if you need to do an offer in compromise, if you are being audited or have some kind of correspondence back and forth with the IRS, we can help you out in that regard, whereas somebody else is not necessarily able to do all of that.